We welcome you back to Longhorn Weekly here live from Pluckers, the West Campus location. We always visit with a varsity sport head coach in addition to our time with Charlie Strong, and glad to be joined by John Fields, University of Texas men's golf coach. I ask you this every year, but I think it's worthy of repeating every year about how the outstanding group of guys you have, how hard they work. In the fall, we always think about spring and competing for national championships, and your team got right down there to the wire with Oregon on their home course back in the spring. But a lot of the work is built in the fall, isn't it?
It is. A lot of our guys go at it so hard from January to the first part of June with the national championship, so that's their collegiate season. And then they go at it really hard in the summer. They play in the major amateur events plus the U.S. Amateur. That takes them June, July, and August. And then when they get to me, they really kind of need a break. But we jump right into our schedule, and we play 4 tournaments in the fall, and they work really hard. I'm really proud of our guys. How
do you manage that? Like you said, they kind of need a break, but yet you also need them when you need them on those 4 events to be dialed in and be playing some of their best golf. So how do you've been at this a long time, you've done it so well for so many years. How do you manage all of that between the proper amount of mental as well as physical rest and what you need from them on the golf course?
Well, I wish I had all the answers. It doesn't always work out that way. Each of the last 3 years we've started off a little bit slow, and I think that is simply because they are a little bit exhausted when they get here. But we still want to be highly competitive, and we managed to win this last week in Georgia at the Golf Club of Georgia, and probably the strongest field that we'll see until the middle of the spring season. So I was really happy for them, happy that they got a victory, and we had some very, very good individual performances.
Among those, by the way, and this was his first win of the season at the Golf Club of Georgia Collegiate on Sunday, where the Longhorns got their first win of the fall season. It seems like I've been calling these names for years. Your senior Gavin Hall, who had a third-round 63 in the event. Your junior Doug Gim, who shot all 3 rounds under par to finish third. That kind of stuff. And Charlie and I have talked about leadership. Leadership and production equals success of a team. And when you've got it both from your upperclassmen, it really makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. We've got 3 All-Americans that have returned. Gavin Hall, Doug Gim, and Scotty Scheffler. Yep. Scotty Scheffler being the United States junior champion, and several of them. Scotty played in the United States Open this year, which was amazing. But all of those guys give us a lot of leadership and give us the opportunity to have some stability within our program. Taylor Funk is outstanding and is a great player in his own right, and put us on his back last year at the NCAA and carried us. He did a great job. And now we're building from the back end, too. Stephen Cervoni is a young man that doesn't have a lot of experience. But for him to step in and then have those 4 guys with that kind of experience, it helps us so much.
We talk about, you mentioned Scotty Scheffler playing at the Open. How much does the experience of playing in those types of events, a major championship in that case, in Scotty's case, how much does that help for what you need out of them in the fall and then on into the next spring, while, again, all the while managing the rest plus the work?
Yeah, for truth be known, I think that it actually changes them for the rest of their life. You get a chance to play in the U.S. Open. Gavin Hall played at Marion years ago, and it just elevates their confidence and their belief in themselves, and it helps them matriculate out onto the PGA Tour after they play for us. But for us, what it does, it validates who they are, and you've always got that in the back of your mind. Sport's tough. Golf's tough. And it's tough in that it kind of ebbs and flows. You have peaks and valleys. But what I tell our guys is that we always want to be on a vertical incline, so to speak, but we know there's going to be peaks and valleys as we go along. So, again, they work so hard. I'm really proud of them. They work hard in the classroom. And we've got so many people helping us be who we are.
Toward that end, and I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about this, because we talk about all the things that Jordan Spieth has accomplished in his professional career at such an early age, and what he did and what he means and has meant to the University of Texas as well. I'm curious to get your thoughts on your current student athletes, how they interact with him when he comes to town for a weekend, and what their mindset is like and the conversations they have, how that kind of value comes from not only everything that Jordan has accomplished, but what it means when he comes back to town.
Well, one of the neat things is he's still young enough where a lot of these guys that are on my team played with him in junior golf. Gavin Hall years ago at Egypt Valley shot 62 in the second round of the United States Junior and tied Jordan Spieth for second in the medal play. So he's known him a long time. Doug McGim and Scotty Scheffler have known Jordan Spieth for years. But what it does is, for them, it validates who they are because they've played with him. They believe they can compete with him. And as a result, we've got a better team.
You're going to close the fall season coming up next weekend at the East Lake Cup. And by the way, for those who want to watch it, it's going to be televised live on the Golf Channel. It's a match play event that's going to serve as a rematch from the 2016 championship in the semifinals. Illinois, Oregon, Vanderbilt, and Texas. You guys, I would imagine, are looking forward to that opportunity.
They are really excited about the opportunity. First of all, they created it because you have to finish as a semifinalist to have the opportunity to go to East Lake. And for that fall event, I think it's growing in stature. This will just be the second year. But I know they're happy about having Texas there. We're happy about being there, and we're going to give our best.
Okay. It's great to see you as always. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right. John Fields, Texas golf coach. Coming up, Charlie Strong rejoins us when we continue here on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.